I'm here on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. So I'm really, really excited about tonight's live stream. Tonight's live stream is all about published and paid, how I used one book to grow my business. And so if you are new to me, my name is Jasmine Womack. I'm on Instagram at the Jasmine Womack, and I'm a writing consultant. I work with experts and leaders, entrepreneurs, to help them package their expertise into a best selling book, stand out as an authority in their industry. And for those who want to take it a step further, I show them how to transform their book into a course or coaching program that generates six figures or more. So I am really, really excited to be here tonight. And tonight's live is all about published and paid, how I used one book to grow my business. So, anyone who knows my story, let me pull my comments up here on LinkedIn. Anyone who knows my story, I am a former middle school language arts teacher. I taught language arts for 12 years, but around the 10th year of my career, I decided to write my own book. And I also decided to step into the self publishing process because I knew that I didn't want a middleman handling the publishing process for me. I didn't want to have to do anything like go through an agent. I just knew from experience, I knew from research, and I knew from having several friends that I had gone through the traditional publishing process that since I did not already have an established brand or a large audience, the easiest way to publishing for me was going to be the self publishing process. And self publishing did a lot for me. I learned a new skill. I was able to maintain ownership of my books without anyone else being the middleman. I was also able to keep all of the royalties. And one of the reasons why I went into self publishing, or that I chose self publishing over traditional publishing, was because I could sell my book and do whatever I wanted to with my book when I wanted to do it without having to ask anyone for permission, right? So I wrote and self-published my first book in 2016. But prior to writing and self-publishing it, I had writer's block. I experienced writer's block, or a merry-go-round of writing, for almost 10 years. I don't know if there's anybody who's watching this live stream that has tried to write and you have, second guessed what you were writing. You got caught up in perfectionism while you were writing and trying to make sure that everything was extremely perfect, trying to make sure that the grammar was correct, trying to make sure that the spelling was correct, trying to make sure that everything was top notch, all I's dotted, all T's crossed, and you didn't even make it to the second chapter. So for me, that's what kept me on a merry-go-round of incompletion, literally for 10 years. And so, with some different mindset techniques that I began to implement once I set my mind to finishing, I was able to go from 10 years of a cycle of start, stop to finishing my book in literally 2 weeks, publishing it several months later, and the following year generated $125,000 from my book, and extending products and services that I created as an extension of my book. Now that was in 2016, in 2007, well, 2016 to 2018, right? 2018, I went into entrepreneurship full time, and here we are 4 years later, having helped over 1,000 authors write, self publish their books, and leverage their books to grow their businesses or to start online businesses. And so, this is what I do. And I am extremely honored to bring some information here to you today. Now, I personally have used one book to grow my business in a myriad of ways. So, my very first book was not an Amazon bestseller, it was nowhere near New York Times bestseller, but my first book helped to bring me six figures. And so my first book was 20 Pearls of Wisdom, A Woman's Guide to Self-Preservation. I learned so much from this book. I'm going to even say it wasn't my best work. It was my very first book. I don't think anybody's first book is their very, very best work, right? But this book ended up, because of this book, I was able to make $125,000 in my business within the following year. And I was able to actually leave my job and go into full-time entrepreneurship. I turned this book into signature speeches. I turned this book into an online workshop. I turned this book into online webinars and master classes. I turned this book into a membership community. And this was the book that also launched my professional editing and writing services for the masses. So I want you to think about it. What in what ways can your book or can your future book grow your business, bring you more clients, and open the door and pave the way to more opportunities? There may be many of you all who are watching this live stream, whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Instagram. You may be already speaking, you may be already coaching, you may already be consulting, and you know that there's more impact that you could be making, and you know that there's more income, active and passive income, that you could be making if you had a book that you were using to grow your business, if you had a book that you were using to leverage your expertise and show your expertise, if you had a book that could reach the masses, whereas you as one person cannot work with the masses, right? So fast forward to my third book, which was published and paid. Write, self-published, and launch your nonfiction book in 90 days or less. We've sold so many copies of this book, right? But this book, I was able to turn this book into a live event, which is now Six Figure Storyteller Live. I was able to turn this book into what's going to be, I started it in 2020, got really inconsistent and stopped it, but we're actually bringing it back officially in 2023. We're going to start the Published and Paid podcast. I cannot wait for that. We were able to create virtual workshops. I turned this book into a course that in its first launch generated $50,000 in its very first launch. And so when you write a subject matter book, when you write a book that in which you are able to share your knowledge, in which you are able to share your expertise, you position yourself as an authority in your field, you position yourself as an authority on your topic, right? And it opens the door when you continue to position yourself for so much more. I like to say that a well-written book is the gift that keeps on giving, because it is the one product that you can create one time and literally sell passively over and over and over again. And if that's something that you desire to do, I invite you to join me in my published and paid 5-day challenge. We start officially next Monday, December 12th. Now, published and paid challenge is a free workshop. It's totally free. It's our final workshop of the year. Right now, we already have over 600 people that have signed up, and over I think right around 300 is in the Facebook group. All right. But this is a workshop where you will be able to learn the step by step strategies and get the step by step coaching that you need to write your book. Even if you struggled for years, even if you don't know where to start, even if it's something that you've pondered on over and over and over again, you need to come to Published and Paid to learn what you need to do to get off of that, get to turn the idea into income. Okay. Now, if any of you have ever attended any of my workshops, you know that I do not do fluff. So I actually give strategy. And so many people actually come into the workshops expecting one thing because they're free, but leaving saying, you know what, this was so good. I feel like I should have paid you. So take it as a holiday gift from me. You can go to www.publishedandpaidchallenge.com, because next week I'm going to go deeper into these concepts and into how you can actually write a book that will get you paid. All right. I have been able to do it. And if you're on Instagram, you see the books on the back of the wall. That's just a fraction of the books that a fraction of the authors that I've worked with. But if you followed me, or if you have ever researched any of my work, then you know that everything that I'm talking about, we've actually done. We've taken books, turned them into self study courses, into high ticket programs, meaning $10,000 and up. Okay. We've taken books and created live events from them, taken books and leveraged the information to create workshops, taken books and created signature speeches, signature workshops, and keynotes. These are all of the ways that you can begin to monetize your intellectual property, monetize your expertise, monetize your knowledge, monetize your experiences. So there are some of you all, you want to write a book to share about some of the things that you've been through and to help others overcome those same situations. There's a way that you can monetize that as well. But you need to make sure that you have your face in the place, because it's not as simple as just writing a book. Anybody can write a book. Truth be told, 80% of people want to write books. Most never do. And of the ones that do, they don't get paid from them. Majority of authors actually make less than $1,000 per year from their self-published book. But in our programs, when students come into them and even after they leave, they're still able to monetize their books through coaching, through consulting, through speaking, through training, through bulk book orders. But even in order to sell a bulk book order, meaning that if you're able to sell 10, 20, 25, 200, 1,000 books at a time, then that means that your book needs to be written a certain way and it needs to be positioned a certain way. You have to be able and willing to solve a problem and to clearly articulate the problem that you are solving. And you need to be able to speak to the people who are willing to invest in the help that they need. Like, some people know that they need some help, but not everyone is willing to invest in the help that they need. So you need to position and learn how to communicate what it is you do so that you can actually begin to attract your dream clients to you, so that you can begin to attract dream opportunities to you that will continue to allow you to create more impact in the world while also multiplying your income. For some reason, when it comes to writing books, so many people tend to say, hey, I just want to write a book, but I don't really want to make money from it. And the truth of the matter is that if you're trying to write a book and you're not concerned about making money from it, subconsciously, you're telling yourself that you really don't want to sell your book. Because if you sell your book, that means that you're going to be selling it for a price and receiving income in exchange for it, or receiving income for one of your extending products and services. And so I cannot wait to dig even deeper into these concepts and into how you can write the type of book that is going to create more opportunities for you, create more impact, and multiply your income. So you can go to www.publishedandpaidchallenge.com to join us. It's absolutely free. We begin next Monday at on December 12th. Now, these sessions will be held live. I will be teaching them live. It won't be my team, it'll be me teaching them live, and we will be meeting at 8 p.m. Eastern every single day next week. The replays will be available for a limited time. So if you say, hey, I would love to attend, but I would love to participate, but I'm not available at 8 p.m., well, you'll have access to the replays throughout the end of the challenge. And once we get to the end of the challenge, the replays won't be available. So I'll come on and I'll actually teach live for about an hour. And then at the end of the session, I'm going to give you a homework assignment. And the homework assignments that I give actually help to set the stage for you and your book. So you can go to www.publishedandpaidchallenge.com to go ahead and register. Send it to a friend so they can register too. And I will see you there. Okay. So I see everyone commenting from LinkedIn, from Facebook, from no one from YouTube just yet, and a good number of people on Instagram. So I cannot wait to work with you guys next week, and I will see you soon.